Sometimes we play a lot of games, creative games, which are for creative things. You can do it in the talk shows, you can do it in the interviews, you can do it, you know, chit chat session. You are going somewhere, to talk about stuff, things you have worked on, films you have made, on-set experiences, things happened in your life, things from your life, then, an experience you have had, you can share all these things, fun moments, chit chat moments, all these things you can do in events, different events, talk shows. That's part of the marketing, PR, or whatever it is, IMC, whatever you call it. That stardom, that celeb thing, you want to talk about all these things, you want to create a buzz around the movie, you want to create a buzz around the topic you are working on, you want to make people know more about the subject you are making the film on, all these things you can do in a funny way, in a different way, But what we are talking about here is drama. Drama, comedy, tragedy, then your action film, suspense film, thriller, different genres, comedy, and a mix of things in a spectrum of comedy, because different people are coming up with different things, with the spectrum of comedy. Different people, they are coming up with different types of comedies, a spectrum of comedy. Different people are having their different kinds of sense of humor. So they are coming up with all these things, dialogues, interactions, gestures, suspense. How do you create a suspense? Suspenseful moment, how do you are going for that? You are telling a lot, you are not telling a lot, you are creating the suspense, how you are creating all these things using the cinematic language. Thriller, how you are creating that thriller, audience at the edge of their seats, they want to experience something, they are looking forward to something, sometimes they know what is to come and they are looking at the unfolding of events. Sometimes they are looking forward to something, what is going to happen next. Sometimes they know what is going to happen next, but how it is going to happen, Now, people will look at all these things, obviously, this narrative arc, dramatic arc, events unfolding, plot points, and inciting incidents, and all these things. And the conflicts, context, subtext, and this dramatic tension, and how you are building up tension, how you are going for resolution, whether you are asking a question, whether you are leaving the audience with a question, how this happened, how that happened, the interplay of emotions, the interplay of dialogues, the gestures and actions. People are asking questions, they are living with a question. Sometimes they are living, with a question, sometimes they know what happened, but how it happened, that made an impression, and they wanted to experience that, because, sometimes it is not just going to the theaters and paying for the ticket and watching a movie. This is available, that's why I am watching that. We are talking about something more than that. People are looking forward to watch that movie. So you are tackling that subject, you are coming up with that movie. Marketing is there and the cinematic experience is there. They both are coming together, So people are aware of that movie. They know this is coming. This is the time that is going to be in the theaters. People are going there, they are buying tickets, and they are going to have that experience. Sometimes they are going to the theaters multiple times, and they are going to the have that cinematic experience with people, maybe sometimes alone. There are different kinds of filmmaking experiences. They want to have the way you are shooting the movie, the way you are arranging the movie, how you are putting things together, the montage, how you are putting things together, generally linear storytelling and non-linear storytelling, and there are so many things you can deal with before the shoot, during the shoot, after the shoot, how you are going for improvisations, creative choices. You have made the movie, maybe you wanted to make the movie in a particular way, but suddenly you are taking creative choices after the shoot. You have all these shots available, you have all these creative devices, creative choices available, stylistic devices, creative choices. So you are picking those shots, you are picking those performances, and you are arranging and rearranging things. Sometimes you are not happy with the rough cut, you are going for improvisation, and you are gradually going for that movie. This is the movie you want the audience to watch. How do you know that? That comes from experience. That's why, you practice, you put the effort. Sometimes we have all started with that. We start with shooting things and putting things together, and we think that this experience of filmmaking and the experience the audience is having while watching this, whatever we have put together, trying to use the cinematic language, people enjoy that. But gradually you enter the grand world of storytelling, the grand world of cinema, where you are having different actors coming up with their forte expertise, and they are coming up with their own thing, so many things they can do. So the actor is having their toolboxes, and there is so much they can bring to that particular performance. And you are observing, you are using imagination or other creative techniques, whatever you are choosing to do. An actor can give so much, but when we are creating that environment before the shoot, during the shoot, on set experiences, and behind the camera, when we are creating the environment, that actor can come up with a lot of things, because as an actor, that person has gone through a lot, that person has gone through a lot of experiences, that person has gone through life, that person has observed people, characters, humanity. They have created a lot of techniques for themselves, their toolbox, they can use those tools, they can bring those tools whenever it's needed. They have a lot to share, they have a lot to give, but a good director will bring it on, a good director will bring it from that actor. So we are creating scripts, we are creating roles, we are creating opportunities where actors can give a lot, the directors can bring a lot. The editor will arrange the shots in that way, and the shot composition, the cinematographer will look at lighting, shot composition, mise en scène, how you are choosing to create this particular duration for a particular shot. 20 seconds you are trying to keep it. If you keep it for 40 seconds, that extra 20 seconds will have an impact. It can be a negative impact, it can be a positive impact. It can take people away from storytelling. Now, how do you get that? So editing process will give the editor a lot of choices. Sometimes they are overwhelmed with the choices, because editing, sometimes the editor will go to the set, sometimes they will not go to the set. They will sit with their own studio equipments, and they will look at all these shots, they will do these markings, and they will do all these things. Sometimes they can get overwhelmed with these shots. There is so much they can put in the particular movie. That will be a 10-hour movie or an 8-hour movie if you have shot it accordingly. Sometimes people know precisely you are going to shoot it for 3 hours, and then you can keep it for 2 hours. So sometimes what happens is, I have mentioned it a couple of times, you know what you want in the script. So the script is working as a guidance tool, whatever you have, that is on the script. So it is everyone can follow while making the film, they can follow. Everything is there in the script, and they are just coming up with their own thing, and they are putting things together, they are doing their own thing. Sometimes what happens is, the director is giving the cast and crew a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, so that they can come up with their own things. The cast and crew both, the cinematographer is coming up with their own things, the editor is coming up with their own ideas and opinions and creative decisions. The actors are coming up with a lot, they have created themselves for all these years, they have practiced a lot. Now when they are having a chance, they can share a lot, they can give a lot, so we are creating the environment for that. Sometimes the directors are more controlling. They know precisely what shot they are going for, they know precisely this is the thing they want. In the editing table also, they are shaping the movie in that way. Maybe in the rough cut it is not there yet, but they know what they are trying to achieve. So gradually they are playing with things, the creative choices, and eventually you are coming up with the thing or that particular product or that particular movie you want to share with the audience in the theaters. And they are watching that movie, but later sometimes the director's cut people come up with, so you have rejected these things, or you didn't have a chance to put all these things in that particular film. So you have now an option to show people the director's cut, the way you wanted to make the movie. So there are two versions. Sometimes people like the director's cut more, sometimes people like the normal thing, whatever you have seen in the theaters, the release, whatever you have seen during the release of that particular movie. Sometimes they want that. But what we are talking about is, we can have a different type of entertainment, we can have a different type of games, and sometimes those games can take you away from that seriousness of that drama. We're not talking about that. We are talking about the creative aspects or the creative games which can bring you towards cinema, to give more great performances, to create more drama, to create more roles and great acting performances so that people will see something, Now what happens is sometimes some kind of games, some types of games, they keep you away from cinema and they take you to a lot of depressive mood, depressing scenario, depression. So what you do is, maybe as an actor you can bring a lot. Maybe as a director you can bring a lot from that actor. Maybe as a cinematographer you can bring a lot. Maybe as an editor you can bring a lot. But the environment is very depressing. The situation is very depressing. That environment or that scenario or that opportunity of making the movie, that process of making the movie, that is not there. So people are not feeling to give a lot. But a great director will know that I want to go for the best movie I want to share with the audience. So you are having these discussions, creative discussions, opinions. Sometimes you can be more controlling, sometimes you can be less controlling, and people are doing their own stuff, but you are again taking the creative choices. You are doing those processes, you are going for those decisions, and sometimes we are playing with the things. We have a lot of things, but we have the movie. Then apart from the movie, we have a lot of creative other choices, other creative choices we can play during the editing, we can play with. So a lot of ways, but an actor can bring a lot, a writer can bring a lot, especially if you are the writer and the director. While you are writing the script, you are going through the movie yourself. You are going through that filmmaking experience. So each and everything you are writing, you are living the movie. You are going through that movie, and then when the audience is going through that movie, they are enjoying that performance. So it's great to write a script like that, because sometimes you precisely know what you are going for. The script, the dialogue, the actions and the gestures, everything is there. Sometimes a great script with a mediocre director can become a mediocre movie. Sometimes a great script with a great director will become a great movie, and sometimes a mediocre script with a great director will become a great movie. So there are permutations, combinations and different scenarios. So what happens is, people who want to be filmmakers, cinephiles, and a script writer, what I mention is a script writer should be a cinephile. A script writer should be an ardent fan of film, of cinema. Because when you are loving cinema, when you are an ardent fan of cinema, you know that what you are going to show, what you are going to write, and you don't compromise that, because as a fan you are writing to, as a cinephile you are writing to, and as a creator you are writing to, as a writer you are writing to. So it is such a great profession. We try to enjoy filmmaking, we try to give people an experience through our writing, and the mantle gets passed over over the generations and through people. But sometimes people who are not ready for that, how can you pass the mantle? So you need to be ready for that. You need to have that passion for filmmaking. You need to have that thing people can trust you with, so you are coming up with a script that can be a great movie. And when you are the writer director, you know that this is the way you are going to shoot it. And when you are the writer and somebody else is becoming the director, they know that they are going to make a great movie from that script. So there are different things, there are different situations people can come up with. But we talk about, as an actor, you can give a lot to a performance, to a film. A great director will bring it out. And the environment, when the environment is ready, when you create the environment yourself as a creative leader, people can come up with a lot. Because how are you going for the takes? How you are going for the shots? It can be a mundane filmmaking experience. People can come up with a mundane performance. They just, camera is getting switched on. They are coming up in front of the camera. They have to, is it okay? Is it okay? They are telling, okay, it is okay. Nobody is knowing whether it's okay or not. You are just being in front of the camera. Something is getting shot, and you are wrapping it, and people are saying that, okay, that is a great shot. That is a good shot. They don't even understand that. How they can improvise, they cannot understand that. So we are not talking about that kind of filmmaking. We are talking about that kind of filmmaking. You as an actor have a lot to give. Now the camera is turned on, you are coming in front of the camera and you have a lot to give. You have that cinematic experience to offer, and the director knows how to, you know, make a great movie out of it. You are going for that take is not right, you are going for another take. You are going for that shot is not right, you are going for another shot. You are doing a different kind of staging and blocking. You are putting the camera in a different way, you are placing the camera in a different way. Maybe you are doing little improvisations regarding the mise-en-scene, you know, you are doing the production design, set design in a different way. But once that is there, it's like what you are doing in that particular environment, how you are doing the staging and blocking in a different way. The camera movement can be made in a different way. And it all can affect the actor, you know. And when you are all acting together, when all you are working together, what you can do is the actor can come up with a lot of things, right? So the environment is there, the situation is there, and everything is there, and actor is, you know, bursting out to give a great performance. And sometimes if the performance is not right, the actor will say that, can I give another performance, can I give another shot? That is the kind of environment we want to create, right? So great filmmaking we want to talk about. People can come up with a lot of things. We can have a lot of creative games, but that is not taking away that grand cinema, because cinema is very grand thing, right? So that is not taking us away from cinema, rather that is bringing us towards cinema more, enhancing our performances, enhancing whatever we choose to do, you know, each and every part of filmmaking, whatever we choose to do, that is bringing us together, you know, to give greater performances. The script is so great, the costume designer is reading the script and the costume designer is not doing a mundane job. I am getting paid for that, so I will do this only. The script is so great, the director is so great, you know, it is evoking something in the costume designer. I want to create a great costume for that movie. I want to create a makeup hairstyle for that particular movie, because I know that I want to tell the story in a great way. The director wants to tell the story in a great way. I want to contribute to that the best way I can. The set designer or the production designer is reading the script. I want to create a great script that can help the story, that can help the storytelling in a great way. The director is trying to give a lot of things to that movie, you know, and we are supporting that. We want to create the best movie together. The actor is bringing a lot to the performances, different takes, different shots, different ways of shooting it. Maybe we are choosing a different location for creative reasons, and we can tell the story in a different way. We are ready for that, you know. So the way we enjoy that filmmaking profession, you know, and that filmmaking experience is that we can come up with a lot of creative choices. And all these creative choices, these are the things shaping the movie. These are the things creating the movie in a much better way, offering the people a greater cinematic experience, you know. More drama, more comedy, more tragedy, suspense, thriller, whatever genre you choose to do, or a mix of genres, you know, a great cinematic experience the audience is having. So, you know, I always encourage people to create that environment, to come up with those scripts, so that, you know, people can come up with a lot of things. So we can talk about costume design. You know, when we talk about professionalism, we obviously talk about scheduling, budgeting, how you are bringing people together to tell a movie, to tell a story, to make a movie, you know. But all these things are there. We are not talking about all these things explicitly, because whenever we're talking about filmmaking, you know, many people will do their all bullshit criticisms, they will do their all these bullshit things, and we are not talking about those things. Because when naturally we are talking about filmmaking, these things we talk about as a part of professionalism, you know. And as a director, whatever I discuss, these things become very natural to a director who wants to tell a great story, who wants to make a great movie, you know. So we don't talk about all these things in a separate manner. But the criticism will come sometimes, very blunt criticisms, sometimes bullshit criticisms. Sometimes, you know, people have a different kind of community. We talk about community that is a filmmaking community that can shape great movies, that can shape great performances. But there are people with their kinds of community, or their own sort of communities